everybody, this is Angelica. How are you today? Today's video is titled Numerology. Why do I keep seeing reoccurring numbers? So, I really like numerology, yet I found many times that the information out there on numerology, some of it does apply, but some of it also doesn't apply. I think this with numbers, it's really important that you kind of like go within and you kind of figure out, what does the energy of this number mean to me and to my life. And sometimes, you will come up with an answer, but it may not be like a very clear answer. So you'll just know that you're drawn to certain numbers and you kind of won't know why. So, there is a wonderful book that I just want to mention called The Life You Were Born to Live, A Guide to Finding Your Life Purpose. And this book is by Dan Millman. He wrote The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. He's a very smart man, and this book is amazing. It's one of the best books that I've ever read on, finding like your life path and your life purpose. It's very accurate, actually. And I actually made a video on it, so I'll just go ahead and put that link to that video below this video so you guys can take a look at that and possibly order that book. That's a wonderful book. And if you want to order that book, I have that on my website under recommended products. The Life You Were Born to Live. It's a great book, and I use it all the time with everybody. So it's a wonderful book to read, and it's great because it also has not only like your life path, but also like what year you're living right now, like what cycle you're in, and also how your life path number works with other people's life path numbers, and like the kind of relationship that will create, and like the positive experiences that you'll have and also the negative experiences that you'll have. So it's really great. So when we're talking about numbers, I find for myself that I'm really drawn to certain numbers. I'm really drawn to the number 4. I've always loved the number 4. 4 is my favorite number. Now, I don't really know why, but 44 and like even 444, all the 4s, I know that those are really good luck and that things are going smoothly, and everything's okay when I keep seeing the 4s. And it could be that it means in regular numerology, order, stability, and things like this. And this is something that I have always kind of needed to work on. So that's a great number for me. I also love, let's see, what other number do I love? I love the number 8. And 8 to me symbolizes, it's like the infinity symbol. It's like everything kind of coming together and into oneness and unity, and it also means abundance, so abundance with everything. And I love the number 8. I also love the number 11. 11 is another wonderful number. Now it does equal 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. But 11 by itself, to me, represents the twin flames and the energy of twin flames. So I really like that number. I also like the number 12. And so there's sometimes I don't know how to explain numbers, but I also think that 11 also represents light workers. I think 11 is definitely a light worker number. So if you're constantly seeing the 1111s, I think that that's showing you, wake up, you're a light worker, you have work to do. So, let's get going on this. So I think that when you keep seeing the same number over and over again. Now, I'll tell you how I see numbers. When I'm driving anywhere, I pass this certain street, and there's this big clock there that flashes the time. First, it flashes the time, and then it flashes the temperature, or it will flash the temperature, then the time. So I'll calculate in my head really fast those two numbers, the two numbers for the temperature or the time, or the 4 numbers or 3, and then I'll add them all together, and that will equal a number. And then if it equals a double-digit number, then I add those two together, while I'm waiting for the light to change. Or sometimes I'll just pass it and get the numbers real quick in my head. And I'm really good at calculating numbers now because I'm always trying to understand how the flow of the day is going to go. Now, if I get one of my lucky numbers and wherever I'm going, I usually have a really good experience. And if I get some other numbers that I need to work on, they're going to be more problematic numbers, then I know that it's going to be, it's never turns out bad, but, it's not going to be like as great as I want it to be. Now, that may sound a little bit silly and weird, but, I talk a lot about things that are silly and weird. So, I also calculate numbers on license plates. Also, letters have a lot of meaning to me. So if I see certain numbers, they equal, like if it equals certain things, or if I just see a balance of numbers and how those look on a license plate, they send me messages. Like there's messages that I need to receive from these numbers. So that's basically the point that I'm trying to get at with numerology. There is a frequency of energy that is attached to each number, okay? So just like I was talking about previously, I don't remember what I was talking about on another video, but I was talking about, it could have been energy with crystals. They have a certain frequency, tone, or vibration. Same thing goes with numbers, okay? So they have a certain tone, a certain vibration, a certain like musical note. Like our soul has a certain tone to it. Each person's soul has a different tone, and it has a different type of energy. And so with numbers, whatever numbers you are drawn to or they're drawn to you, this certain energetic frequency is trying to bring in information to you. And so sometimes it's information that only your brain or your subconscious mind understands. So sometimes your logical brain will, not be able to understand it fully, but that's okay because sometimes the logical mind is not needed and you need to just let it bypass and just feel the energy of the number. So that's what I always get from numbers. And if you are seeing, reoccurring numbers, then those are, energy frequencies that are doubled, tripled, and those have great meaning to you, specifically whatever numbers they happen to be. Now, in regular numerology, the numbers 1 through 9 have some significant meanings. Now, I've come to find that most of the numbers kind of make sense. But when we're talking about personality-wise, and like I said with the book, The Life You Were Born to Live, and things like that, like your life path, then these numbers in numerology have specific meanings. So I just wanted to quickly go over numbers 1 through 9, just so you have a little bit of an idea about what these numbers might mean for you if your birth date equals a certain number. Now, these are going to be different than what you'll find in the book. These are just the common basic numerology numbers and what they mean. So 1 is self-initiating, pioneering, driven, with potential great leadership abilities. So that's 1. And when I think of 1, I think of like being, one person and doing, my own thing, very individual. 2, obviously, would be like partnerships, being cooperative with another person, giving to another, and having a balance in a relationship, as well as being adaptable. Kind of being like, that goes in with being cooperative, okay? So obviously 2 would represent more of a partnership type number. 3, imaginative, very creatively expressive, optimistic, and great with verbal and written talents. So 3 is the number of being good with, talking and communicating. 4, order, steady growth, being practical, attention to detail, having organizational abilities, and strong values. That's what 4 represents. It's a strong number. It's a very even number. It's balanced completely. It's very strong and stable. 5. So 5 energy is always changing and very flexible, has extremely visionary ideas, expansive energy, very curious, and also action-oriented. The number 6 is responsibility, very home-oriented, very nurturing, possibly being of service to others, very humanitarian is the number 6. Number 7 is an analytical mind. 7, analytical, loves solitude, very likes to stay to themselves, scientific minded, seeks knowledge, very charming, and I've also noticed that 7 energy is normally really in tune with nature. 8 is very good in management, kind of working a lot, a hard worker, able to handle power well, has very sound judgment, and works for a cause. Number 9 is giving of themselves selflessly, artistic, very good writing talents, humanitarian, generous, and charitable. So that's just a basic overview without going into too much depth about what the numbers kind of represent if you have these numbers in your life path. But as I said, this is one of the best books that I've ever read for determining what the numbers really mean to you, especially if you have more than one number in your life path. Like I have 3. A lot of people have 3 numbers in their life path, but some only have 1. And I've come to find that that's kind of easier to work with, because the less numbers you have, the less things are there to conflict with the other, and you only have 1 thing to work on instead of 3. Anyway, you know, I think a lot of people have put a lot of things out there on the internet about like reoccurring numbers and why, you know, you might see them and stuff like that. Now, I tend to not agree so much with those because for me, they have different meanings, and I think that it's so unexplainable. Like, I don't think that people can really put it into words what the meaning really is. You got to just know how it feels. And we're learning now with this awakening process that we're having to feel more with our hearts. And when we get these numbers, or we see the clock and it's 11:11, we can feel that that's good. Like, we can feel that that's a great thing happening, and just to let it trigger whatever triggers, like the good feeling in you, and then like, that's great, or make your little wish or whatever, you know, because it's a good omen. It really is, and we all know that. But to say that it means a specific thing and this is what it means is to kind of put it in a box and to label it. And I don't really like to do that with anything, because there's always room for more, you know, information on any certain particular topic. So we need to stay really open with things and you know, feel the vibration and the tone of the energy that you're gathering and gaining from, you know, the numbers, if we're talking about numbers. Anyway, I really hope this video was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and put that other video below. I'll also put where you can get that book below, as well as the blog that I'm writing for this video. I'll put that below as well. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you have a great day. If you would like to schedule an appointment with me to do a spiritual guidance counseling session, I'll put my website below so you can go ahead and schedule that as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye.